And then you said that you still wouldn't identify yourself until you spoke to our sergeant. Now you spoke to the sergeant, so I need to get your name and date of birth so
I can give you a copy of the vehicle. I can give you a copy of the video.
I don't need a copy of the vehicle.
I can give you a business card.
I need your identifying information so I can list you in the report as a witness.
Yeah, you're a witness.
Because right now you're failing to ID.
On December 31st, 2016, Philip Turner, a well-known First Amendment auditor who runs the YouTube channel The Badusai, was filming a traffic stop just off Interstate 35 in New Braunfels, Texas, when deputies from the Comal County Sheriff's Office approached him. What started as a few questions quickly became a string of legal claims the deputies couldn't actually back up. Welcome to Badge Done Right, where we spotlight law enforcement done right. If you're new here, hit subscribe and join us. Now let's get into the story.
What's that?
Can you go stand back over where you work for me, sir?
There's something wrong with being here?
Yes, sir, there is.
What's
I don't want you to be in direct line with that vehicle. I'd like for you to go back to where you were standing. You can continue filming all you'd like, but I don't want you right here.
Am I interfering?
Well, technically now you're starting to pose into somebody else's private property with your videoing. Yes, sir. Hey, did they give you permission to film inside their truck?
I don't need permission out in public.
In somebody's vehicle?
I don't need permission out in public.
No, not to film us, you're correct. But to film inside somebody's vehicle, that's an extension of their house, and that is a private place. So you do need somebody's permission to film inside their vehicle.
But is that a crime?
The first claim, that Turner couldn't film inside someone else's vehicle in public without permission because, one deputy argued, a car is an extension of the owner's home. That's not how the law sees it. The Supreme Court has said for decades that you have far less expectation of privacy in a car than in your home. In the 1976 case, South Dakota versus Opperman, the court explained that cars are subject to constant government regulation, licensing, inspections, traffic enforcement, and they travel in plain public view. 2 years earlier, in Cardwell versus Lewis, the court made the same point. A vehicle's purpose is transportation, and its occupants and contents are openly visible to anyone passing by. So filming what's plainly visible from a public place isn't a privacy violation. It's exactly what the First Amendment protects.
Do you have your information? Your driver's license?
What's that?
Do you have your driver's license or name, date, birth?
For what?
Because now you're a witness to this crime that we're doing.
What crime is that?
The crime that we got these people in the back of these cars for.
I don't know what crime they committed.
You don't have to know. Okay, they broke the law. They're in possession of narcotics. That's why they're in the back of our cars. So, do you have your name and date of birth?
No.
Or a driver's license?
No.
So you're going to refuse to be listed as a witness since you sat here and videotaped the entire scene?
If you need a copy of the video, I can give you a copy of the video.
Well, yeah, but we're also going to need to identify you in our report that you were here videoing, so when we come to get a copy of that video, we can get that.
All right, let me talk to your supervisor.
He said that he won't want to give us his name and date of birth until he talks to our supervisor. So.
And you're probably going to end up going to jail because right now you're witnessing a crime.
Next, the deputies told Turner he had to hand over ID, or his name and date of birth, and warned that refusing could get him arrested as a witness to a crime. Here's the problem. Texas's failure to identify law, Penal Code Section 38.02, only makes it a crime to give a false name or date of birth to an officer, not to stay silent. Simply declining to identify, on its own, isn't an offense under that statute. A handful of states do require a witness to give basic identifying information, and there is a narrow federal tool for compelling testimony from a genuine material witness. But that's reserved for people whose testimony is truly essential to a case, and a bystander filming from a sidewalk almost certainly doesn't qualify. In short, the threat to arrest him just for refusing to identify didn't hold up.
Well, I asked to talk to a supervisor. He's here, so why can't I speak with him?
Because you're refusing to give your information, you'll be going to jail for failure to identify as you're a witness to a crime.
So I need to give you my ID to speak to your supervisor? Is that what you're telling me?
No.
Okay, I need to speak to your supervisor.
Why do you need to speak to the supervisor?
Because I requested to speak to
What
him.
warrants that?
Because I requested to speak to him and he's here.
Okay. So what's your point?
He's here, I need to speak with him.
You've got no part of the scene, right? But you want to speak to our supervisor.
You can speak to him.
Okay.
Yeah, but you'll be in handcuffs and you'll be at the jail. Is that what you want to do?
I need to speak to your supervisor.
Is that what you want to do?
I need to speak to your supervisor.
Why aren't you understanding? You put yourself in this situation right here. You see that? You're on private property
Private
right now.
or public?
You're on private property right now.
Okay, what does that do with anything?
Do you have permission to be here?
Did the owner trespass me?
Well, this guy...
He doesn't want you here.
This guy actually did call and tell us he wanted you to leave.
Then came the trespassing claim. Turner was standing just outside the fence of a Camping World RV lot, and the deputy said the owner wanted him gone. Now, a private owner absolutely can ask someone to leave their property. The First Amendment restrains the government, not private citizens. That principle is called the state action doctrine. But a request to leave is not the same as a crime. Under Texas's criminal trespass law, trespass requires notice that entry is forbidden, a fence built to keep people out, posted signs, or marked property lines. Turner was outside the fence, with no signs telling him to stay away, so he had no notice when he started filming. Until the deputies passed along the owner's request, he'd received no notice to leave at all. He had to honor that request once it was made, but he hadn't broken any trespassing law by filming from where he stood.
So what's up?
All right, so I can get you a business card.
Yeah.
But this is what I do. I film what public officials do on public property. I'm a journalist. I gather content for stories.
That's cool.
But this officer here was telling me that I had to move back over there. I couldn't stand over there. And I was asking him why. He told me that I wasn't allowed to film inside the vehicle here. But
I mean, that's their privacy too. We got to get their consent to go in, so it makes it any different for you.
well, that's to go in.
Yeah.
But I'm not going in. I'm just observing. That's kind of like equivalent to this is his property, but I can't film it because it's on his property.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, and it's not against the law.
Okay.
So he needs to get educated on that because
Okay.
that's clearly not the case. Okay?
Okay.
Now, am I currently being detained here, or am I free to go?
You're free to go, man. I'm here. I came all the way from Canyon Lake to
We
talk
need
to
to
you.
identify him now.
Okay.
Right.
You need to identify me?
Yes, sir, I do.
For?
Because you're a witness to a crime and you sat here and recorded the whole crime.
I don't know what crime was committed.
I told you.
I didn't see y'all
And then
pulling
you
no
said
cards out the car.
that you still wouldn't identify yourself until you spoke to our sergeant. Now you spoke to the sergeant, so I need to get your name and date of birth so
I can give you a
identify
copy of the vehicle. I can give you a copy of the video.
I don't need a copy of the vehicle.
I can give you a business
I need
card.
your identifying information so I can list
You
you in
just
the
need your
report
ID and
as a
info.
witness.
Yeah. You're
I-
a witness.
I don't-
Right now, you're failing to ID as a witness to a crime.
Because
What
if
crime?
hey, what's your first name, man?
I'll give you my first name. It's Philip.
Philip.
Yes, I'll give you that.
Best case scenario, that female and that male says that we did something against the law. Eight cops against one person, right? So you know who I would want? I would want the guy who's not even involved in this to be my witness. So that's what we're trying to explain to you.
So they need me as a
Because
witness?
you're part of any type of information that anybody that comes. We're gonna have to ID him because he's in our cameras now.
See, and I already got his business card. He already identified himself.
So he gave his name and date of birth and all that
yes,
stuff?
I've got it all right
I said
here.
I can go get a business card too. I said that.
Well, that's fine, but here's the thing. You can't leave until we identify you.
Like I said, I already told you, I'm a journalist. I gather content for stories. That's
fine.
it.
Yeah, we had no problem with that, man. We just don't like the space.
And that's what I told you earlier. I didn't have a problem with you videotaping.
Now, Sergeant, am I free to go or am I being detained?
Until you give your name and date of birth.
At first, the supervisor, a sergeant, tried to back his deputies, and the conversation kept getting cut off by incoming phone calls. Each time, the deputies circled back to pressuring Turner to identify himself. Then the sergeant did something simple and important. He put the phone down and actually talked with him.
I'm not up in your face. If I were up in your face, then you would know. You need anything from him? You good?
I'm good.
Do you want to talk to him? Okay. You try and identify him for us?
Yeah. Let's go here. I don't like no reason to argue, man. You're not doing anything wrong, and but here's the deal. They got a point there. I mean, your worst case scenario is that your camera would be a part of evidence, but we're not going to go there because I have a camera. I have plenty of cameras going, so I don't need your camera. Now, if something were to happen to where, man, we get into a shooting or something or a fight and somebody gets hurt, then you know what? I'm taking your camera because that's so you got to be careful with that in the future. Okay, when you're doing this,
But on that one, I'll tell you,
No.
there was a shooting on 6th Street that happened not too long ago, and I helped aided them catching the shooter.
And I have no problem with that. No. But that's what's called
I
evidence.
understand.
It's not that I want your camera because I want you to stop doing this. It's just that, man, you would be surprised how many angles we need nowadays.
I understand that.
You know.
Once they talked, the sergeant recognized what had been true the whole time. Turner wasn't a threat, and he was within his rights to film. He let Turner go without forcing him to identify himself, and the two even exchanged business cards. 4 days later, Turner went to the Comal County Sheriff's Office, filed a formal complaint, and requested the body camera footage. The staff processed the paperwork without issue. It's tempting to frame this as heroes versus villains. It isn't. The deputies got the law wrong on filming, on identification, on trespassing, and leaned on threats instead of accuracy. That matters, because when officers pressure a witness with claims that don't hold up, they don't just risk one person's rights, they make the next witness less willing to come forward at all. But here's the part worth holding on to. One supervisor stopped, listened, checked his own assumptions, and corrected course in real time. He didn't dig in to protect his deputy's pride. He got it right. Out loud, on camera. That's not weakness. That's what command is supposed to look like. And Turner did his part too. He stayed calm, he knew the law better than the people enforcing it, and when it was over, he didn't reach for a lawsuit, he filed a complaint and documented it. That's the quiet kind of accountability that actually retrains a department. A badge doesn't make the decision, the person behind it does. 4 people stood on that sidewalk. The one who chose to listen is the reason this story ends well. That's the story out of Comal County, Texas. Proof that good policing isn't the exception, it's a choice officers make every single day. Subscribe, stay sharp, and remember, accountability works both ways. I'll see you in the next story.